Hello, dear listeners. Welcome back to Timeless Romance Tales. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more dangerous secrets, forbidden attraction, and aristocratic romances that refuse to stay polite. Now let's begin. Eliza Hawthorne stood at the iron gates of Blackmore Estate and wondered how many lies it took to damn a man. Because she had come here to destroy one. The Duke of Blackmore had a reputation that preceded him. Cold, unyielding, impossible to provoke. Widowed young. Isolated by choice. A man whispered about in drawing rooms as unbreakable. Which was precisely why her uncle had sent her. Make him fall, he'd said, voice sharp with expectation. Expose him. Ruin him. Or don't bother coming home. The carriage rolled away, leaving Eliza alone beneath a sky the color of iron. She stood there longer than necessary, fingers clenched inside her gloves, steadying herself before the massive estate doors. The front doors opened before she could knock. You must be Lady Hawthorne. The voice was deep, controlled, dangerous in its calm. She looked up and forgot every rehearsed thought. Duke Sebastian Vale stood before her, tall and broad, dressed in black mourning despite it having been 3 years since his wife's death. Dark hair brushed his collar. His gray eyes assessed her as if she were an equation with too many unknowns. Yes, she said, forcing composure. Thank you for receiving me. You are my aunt's charity, he replied coolly. Come inside. Not guest. Charity. The doors shut behind her with finality. Dinner that evening was quiet. Painfully so. Sebastian sat at the head of the table, posture perfect, movements precise. Eliza truly tried to charm him, to test the cracks she'd been told must exist. You have a beautiful estate, she offered. I know. The library is extraordinary. I built it. And you must find the countryside peaceful. I find it efficient. Each answer shut her down without cruelty, but without warmth. Finally she exhaled. Do you ever smile, Your Grace? His gaze lifted sharply. Rarely, he said. Do you require it? She met his eyes. No. I was only curious. Curiosity can be dangerous, he replied. Her pulse fluttered. So can indifference. A pause followed. Something unreadable crossed his face. After dinner, she wandered the gallery and found him there minutes later, standing before a portrait. You don't avoid people, she observed. You endure them. He didn't turn. I tolerate necessity. She studied the painting beside him. A young woman with kind eyes and a softness that felt out of place in the imposing estate. My wife, he said quietly. Eliza softened despite herself. She was beautiful. She was relentless, he replied. She believed love should be gentle. I did not. And now, he finally turned. And now, I do not believe in it at all. That night Eliza lay awake, heart racing. This was not the man she had been told she could unravel with flirtation and tears. This was a man who had already survived loss, and learned how to survive without feeling. And she was supposed to ruin him. Days passed. Then weeks. Sebastian never touched her. Never raised his voice. Never lingered. But he watched. He noticed when she skipped breakfast. When she favored her left ankle on the stairs. When she stared too long at the window after receiving letters she never answered in public. One afternoon, she overheard servants whispering. She won't last, one murmured. No one ever does. That night, she cried quietly into her pillow. Not from fear, but from guilt. One evening, she dropped her glass. It shattered. She flinched instinctively. Sebastian was beside her in an instant. Are you hurt? No, she said too quickly. His eyes narrowed. You startled as if struck. She forced a smile. Old habit. He studied her longer than necessary, then said nothing. Later that night there was a knock at her door. You're not ruined, he said quietly when she opened it. She blinked. I beg your pardon? I know why you're here, he continued. You were sent to provoke me, to create scandal, to weaken my position. Her heart slammed violently. And why haven't you dismissed me? She whispered. Because, he said, voice low. You haven't done it. She swallowed. You don't know what I'm capable of. I know what you won't do, he replied. Silence pressed between them, thick and suffocating. You could ruin me, she whispered. Yes. But you refused to let me. His gaze softened, not weak but intent. No, he said. I refuse to let you ruin yourself. The next morning everything changed. Eliza received another letter. Finish this or we will. Her hand shook so badly she nearly dropped it. By afternoon another arrived, and signed brutal explicit. Her uncle would sell her sister's home. Her cousin's dowry. Everything. Sebastian found her later in the gardens, pale and shaking. What's happened? He asked. She tried to lie. Failed. They will hurt someone, she whispered. If I don't destroy you. Who? My family, she admitted. My uncle holds their debts. Their homes. Their lives. Sebastian's jaw tightened. So you were meant to seduce me? Or provoke a scandal? Yes. And yet, he said quietly, you haven't. Tears blurred her vision. Because you're not what they said. You're not cruel. You're not weak. And that makes this harder? Yes, she breathed. Because I think I'm falling in love with you. The confession shattered the space between them. Sebastian was very still. Look at me, he said. She did. I will not be ruined, he said. But I will not let them ruin you either. How? You will stay, he said simply. And you will become mine. Her breath caught painfully. In what way? In every way that matters. You would marry me? I would claim you, he corrected softly. Publicly. Permanently. And they will lose all leverage. She hesitated, voice trembling. You don't love me. His thumb brushed her knuckles, gentle, reverent. No, he said. But I am beginning to. The announcement came swiftly. London erupted. The Duke who refused society had chosen her. Her uncle sent furious letters. Threats. Demands. Sebastian burned them all without reading a word. On their wedding night, Eliza stood trembling by the bed. I should tell you everything, she whispered. I already know enough, he said gently. Come here. He kissed her slowly, reverently, not claiming, choosing. Days became weeks. Love did not arrive like thunder. It came quietly, in shared breakfasts, late-night conversations, in the way he reached for her hand without thinking, in the way she learned his silences and he learned her fears. One night, as rain battered the windows, she asked softly, Do you regret not breaking? He smiled faintly. I broke once. I survived. This time I chose to bend. And me. You, he murmured, pulling her close, were never my weakness. You were my defiance. She rested her head against his chest, listening to his heartbeat. She had been sent to ruin him. Instead, she had found a man strong enough to remain whole, and loving enough to keep her safe. And in the end, she realized something terrifying and beautiful. She hadn't fallen first. She'd simply noticed it first.